watching the Sports Political channel of LB. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Let's get down to business. So in this particular video, we're going to talk about the Charlotte Hornets offseason, one move that they made and another move that they're hesitant on making. We're going to start with the move that they're hesitant on making, and that is giving Miles Bridges the max contract. Now, Miles Bridges just came off a season where he was the second best player on the team, undoubtedly. He averaged a little over 20 a game, playing over 35 minutes. He's improved on his rebounds from last year, improved on his assists. So pretty much your main categories: points, rebounds, assists, and steals. Okay. Now, he regressed a little bit in his field goal percentage, and he regressed in his three-point percentage. So coming off the season, he averaged 20 a game. What's up, Kasim Baker? Salute to you, bro. The Hornets are concerned about giving him a max contract extension. Now, you can understand why an organization is hesitant to give players max contracts, because if you've seen what has happened when these players are getting max contracts, they either don't live up to the contract, and then when it comes time to trade the player, they don't get equal or a better return because setting in player gets max contract don't live up to the contract. And it's like when these players get the bag, they get comfortable. They don't work on their game. And then it becomes harder to trade set name player. And if they do trade set name player, they don't get the equal or a better return. So, and nowadays where the salary cap is pretty tight, you don't want to be, as an organization, strapped financially to 3 or 4 players to where their production is not living up to the money you're paying them. So there's question marks about Miles Bridges. What's up, Alex Heron? There's questions about Miles Bridges. Okay? Can he sustain it? Can he improve upon from last year, because his three-point percentage regressed, right? Can he take the next step, or is he going to regress, or he's going to plateau? I got the bag, now I'm good. So with the Charlotte Hornets refusing to give Miles Bridges the max, look, he was already offered a 4-year, $60 million extension last year. He turned that down, right? So he turned down the 4-year, $60 million extension. He pretty much bet on himself. And with him betting on himself, he had a really good statistical output. Now, I'm not saying the man can't get his money, and I'm not sitting here to try to count his money or nothing like that, right? But if I'm a GM, is 20 a game worth paying $30 million a year? Because that's what he's looking at, right? Now, the Charlotte Hornets, they have the advantage because if he comes back there, he can sign a 5-year extension. If he goes anywhere else, the max they can offer him is 4 years. So assuming 4 years, $30 million a year, he's looking at $120 million a year. If you're a franchise and you're looking at Miles Bridges, now Miles Bridges was sensational last year, but is he really worth $30 million a year? Is he? That's the question. right? Now, having said that, there are three teams that are looking at Miles Bridges from my research, right? The first team is the Detroit Pistons. Now, the Detroit Pistons makes sense considering that Miles Bridges plays college ball at Michigan State. And I think he's a Michigan native, if I'm not mistaken. But so if Miles Bridges want to go home, Detroit Pistons are willing to pay the money necessary to land Miles Bridges. Now, free agency starts either Thursday or Friday from my research. That's when the free agency period begins. So that's the first team that's looking at Miles Bridges. The second team that's looking at Miles Bridges is the Indiana Pacers. Now, there was talks between the Hornets and the Pacers for a Miles Turner, Gordon Hayward swap. Now, the Charlotte Hornets is desperately trying to unload Gordon Hayward's contract. Okay, if they can unload Gordon Hayward's contract, then they might open the door to re-sign Miles Bridges if they choose to. But they're desperately trying to get rid of Gordon Hayward. Okay, so Gordon Hayward on the Hornets is that's would be a thing of the past, and that's more of a sooner rather than later type deal. Now, the swap for Miles Turner is not going to happen. Miles Turner is staying with the Indiana Pacers, right? But if Miles Bridges tests free agency, look for Indiana to make a push for him. The third team that is making a play for Miles Bridges, according to rumors and tea lead information, are the Portland Trailblazers. Now, the Portland Trailblazers trying to get back to the playoffs. They're trying to get back to prominence. They're trying to build a team around Damian Lillard. And one name to be on the lookout for in particular, should they not get Miles Bridges, the Portland Trailblazers are looking at OG Anunoby for the Toronto Raptors. Now, rumor has it that OG Anunoby is not good. Or, I take that back. He's not happy with his role in Toronto. He's not happy with his role. With Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet, and with the emergence of Scotty Barnes, right? OG Anunoby is pretty much the odd man out. So look for OG Anunoby to go somewhere where he can expand his game. What's up, Cook Sports? Salute to you, bro. Salute to my man in the building, Cook Sports. But yeah, man, for whatever reason, Charlotte's unwilling to give the man the money he's looking for. So, and then he also removed his Charlotte Hornets forward title from his Twitter account. So, looks like for all intents and purposes, Miles Bridges will be in a different uniform come next season. Now, what uniform? I don't know, but if I had to make a guess, if you had to put a gun in my head and have me pick a team, I think it'll be the Detroit Pistons, right? That's my thing. That's my guess. But so hope the brother go out there gets what he deserves. You know what I'm saying? He played really good last year, and I personally won't lose sleep if Miles Bridges walks away from the Hornets. But this is one move I am losing sleep over. Why did they decide to bring this guy back? Why? Now, in case you don't know who this is Steve Clifford. I did a video about him on Friday where the Hornets were looking to entertain bringing him back. And this is after Kenny Atkinson spurned the Charlotte Hornets the week prior to remain at Golden State, where he would become the assistant or the lead assistant to Steve Kerr, because Mike Brown left the lead assistant position to take the head coaching job at Sacramento. So after Kenny Atkinson spurred the Hornets, they was in a mad dash to find a new coach. considering you had the draft coming up, free agency. You know, you ain't got but so much time before training camp starts, and the season beginning all over again in October. So there really wasn't a whole lot of time, right? Now, Mitch Kupchak tried to downplay the whole situation, right? But look, they needed a coach ASAP. Now, Steve Clifford was not the coach when Mitch Kupchak got there. Matter of fact, after that 2018 season, Steve Clifford was fired by the Charlotte Hornets. And he was replaced by James Borrego. Now, under James Borrego's watch, the Charlotte Hornets have not made the playoffs. They had 2 trips consecutively, I might add, to the play-in game, in which both games they were blown out. So James Borrego got fired this season. And they looked to an old face to bring back to a new situation. Now, me personally, I am not a fan of this hire. What's up, G Nation? What's up? Salute to you, bro. Now, I am not a fan of this hire. Now, they had 2 playoff appearances in 5 years he was there. Matter of fact, before they reconvert back to the Hornets, they were the Charlotte Bobcats. So 2 of the 5 years Steve Clifford was there, they made the playoffs, and both those times they were first-round exits. And then the last year he was there, they were atrocious. So and then we're not even talking about the fact that this dude had health issues. Because there's games when he was coach of the Orlando Magic that Steve Clifford wouldn't coach because he had health issues. And he's like 62, 63 years old. So let me get this straight. A up and down tenure where you had 2 first-round exits, 3 years you don't even make the playoffs, plus the fact you're over 60, plus the fact that you had health problems, and this is the guy that you think is going to lead the Charlotte Hornets to the promised land? Now, mind you, last year, he was a consultant to Steve Nash for the Brooklyn Nets. That's right. He was a consultant to Steve Nash to the Brooklyn Nets. And what did Brooklyn receive under Steve Clifford's tutelage, right? No, because you let one of these publications tell you he's one of the best in the business. Really? Really? NBC Sports, right? NBC Sports, y'all really say that Steve Clifford's one of the best in the business? Huh. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I disagree with that to the 10th power. In fact, it was Roto World that wrote that article talking about Steve Clifford being one of the best in the business. Well, if you don't get up out of here. So I'm just saying. What makes this guy the right man to lead the Charlotte Hornets? Matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all the article. For anyone that might be thinking I'm on cap and whatever like that, right? I'm gonna show you the article. See, this is where the media misleads its people. This is where the media misleads the general public. Clifford is one of the league's most respected coaches amongst his peers, and he led the Hornets to 2 trips in a 5-year run that ended in 2018. The exact terms of the deal are not known, but youngsters like LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges, if he remains on the team, will get to learn the ropes from one of the best in the business. Steve Clifford, best in the business? Really? Really? Steve Clifford, one of the best in the business. Okay, well, let's look at Steve Clifford's coaching record. Let's look at his coaching resume to see if he's one of the best in the business, right? This is why I implore my people to do their research when they read buffoonery like this, right? A coach with a 458 winning percentage, but he's one of the best in the business, right? That what y'all trying? That's what that article was trying to tell me. Really, really. Coaching 637 NBA games, he was 292 and 345 with a 458 winning percentage. Look at this one, right? 43 39, 33 49, 48 34, 36 46, 36 46 again. This is where he got fired from the Hornets, right? Picked up the Orlando job, barely 500 there. And he's regressed every year since he was on Orlando, from 42 wins down to 21 wins. But he's one of the best in the business. This what y'all trying to tell me? Huh? Man, y'all better go on somewhere. Y'all better go on somewhere. Now, Steve Clifford is not one of the best in the business. Mark Jackson, just like my man G Nation out here alluded to, my man G Nation pointed it out. Mark Jackson's out there rotting away on TV doing games for ESPN. Mark Jackson's rotting away. But Steve Clifford's one of the best in the business. Man, if you don't get up out of here. What's up, LVZ? Salute to you, bro. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I'm not happy. I ain't happy about that. I was hoping he'll come back to the Wizards, man. But yeah, man, Steve Clifford ain't one of the best in the business, man. Not no coach with a 458 winning percentage. And then if you ask me, he's the wrong coach because Steve Clifford's style consists of playing half-court sets. He's a half-court, defensive-minded type coach. You know, with a guy like LaMelo Ball, he likes to run. So you bring in Boy, I tell you, man, go sub the LVZ NBA talk, man. That's my man right there. Why would you look? This guy has proven to you he's not the right man, and yet you bring him back? Jordan, freaking Mitch Kupchak, what the hell are y'all doing? Y'all even know what y'all doing? Because from my vantage point, I don't think y'all know what y'all doing. This is gonna be another sad year. This is gonna be another sad year for the Charlotte Hornets. George, exactly, bro. Exactly. Hey, if you want to come in, man, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. See, LVZ, you know, he got the red carpet treatment on this channel. What are y'all doing? I'm just asking a question. Charlotte, what are y'all doing? Do you even know what y'all doing? What makes Steve Clifford? What makes this guy the right man to lead the Charlotte Hornets? What's up, brother? You still there? Yeah, man. Hey, L, I can't hear you, bro. Oh, okay. I'm waiting for my brother to come in. You know what I'm saying? Give me his take on the matter. But still, man, I mean, come on, Charlotte Hornets. What are y'all doing? Are y'all really trying to compete in the East? I'm just saying. When y'all talk all that stuff about wanting to compete in the East and all that, are y'all really trying to compete in the Eastern Conference? Well, you got Boston, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Miami, and then you got to worry about the Bulls, Washington. You know, they're looking to improve. You got the Knicks trying to improve. The Atlanta Hawks, 2 years removed from Eastern Conference Finals appearance. Are y'all really trying to get better? Now, we all know there's like 2 or 3 teams that we know is not going to do anything next year. We know the Orlando Magic is one of them. We know the Indiana Pacers is another one. We know that, and then Brooklyn. Depending depending what happens in Brooklyn, they might blow the whole thing up. So we know those 3 teams ain't gonna do nothing, right? If they're really trying to take the next step, this is not the way to take the next step. Steve Clifford, really, a dude with I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. A guy with a 458 winning percentage as a head coach. He's the man that's going to lead your team to the future. A man with health problems, bad coaching resume. Oh, man. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that one. All these other coaches out here, you couldn't find an assistant. You couldn't find Mark Jackson. You couldn't find anybody else. You couldn't trade with another coach or whatever like that. You had to go back to Steve Clifford. Oh, because we had a real working relationship with Steve Clifford. When he left on really good terms. Oh, you meant when you fired him? Because he didn't leave. He was pushed out, and there was a reason why he was pushed out. So I don't understand what the deal is when it comes to Steve Clifford. You fired him for a reason. That's like being in a relationship. Hey, look, this ain't working out, man. We got to go our separate ways. And then 3 years later, well, I know I hate your guts and all that, but your pussy was so good, girl. And I miss those nights we had together, man. I know you treated me like shit. I know you took all my money. I know you was fucking around with other dudes and all that. But look, I'm willing to forgive you if you're willing to give me another chance. Right? You got the B.I.G. song playing in the background, talk about, oh, baby, give me one more chance. And she comes right back. And y'all started off like it never happened, like it never left. What? Look, I learned this in past relationships. An X is an X for a reason, right? If it didn't work out before, don't think you're gonna sit there and make it work out now. Okay? You got to cut your losses and move on. There's all kind. Look, and then you would think, oh well, Mike D'Antoni was a finalist. Now, don't get me wrong, I am not a Mike D'Antoni fan. He would have been perfect for LaMelo Ball, right? In the situation that they have, a team that can run up and down the court. You got a whole bunch of youngsters that can run, and you bring in a guy like Steve Clifford who wants them to play in the half court. Help me make that make sense, y'all. I just want to know. So that's why, man, the whole dynamic with Steve Clifford, man, you know what I'm saying? The Hornets, they made a big mistake bringing this guy back. You could look, and I'm just look. Can y'all help me out here? I'm pretty sure there's someone in the chat room that can help me answer that question, man. What makes Steve Clifford so attracted to the Hornets? What is it about Steve Clifford that makes the Hornets a viable NBA championship threat next year? Can anyone answer that question for me? I don't know. I don't see it. I'm pretty sure there's a contrarian out there that do. So this your time to come in and defend that stupid ass hire that the Hornets made. I just want to know, because I don't know. Teams, oh man, this team ain't gonna go nowhere, man. This team is going in reverse. Now, apparently they addressed some interior issues. Last few years, the Hornets were horrible. If there were two places the Hornets were horrible at, was defending the paint and defending against wing players who could create. Catch and shoot guys, they were okay. But like I'm talking about players who are either a primary ball handler or a guy that can get the ball and can create his own shot and create for other teammates and stuff like that. They were, and then, like I alluded to before, they were getting destroyed in the paint. I mean, guys are getting offensive rebounds, getting put back dunks, rim protecting. When it came to big men, the Charlotte Hornets, the last few years were horrible at that. They were one of the worst, if not the worst teams in the league when it came to that. Now, apparently they addressed that in the draft, and if Miles Bridges walks and they trade away Gordon Hayward, now you're in a situation where you're going to have to rely on some young guys to come in and be ready to produce off the bat. Of course, LaMelo Ball still be there. This the last year of what's his face? Terry Rozier. This is the last year of his contract. So he's a trade target. He signed that 3-year deal with Boston a couple years ago in the sign and trade. So he's on the last year of that deal. And now, so you got him, you got Gordon Hayward, Miles Bridges might walk. LaMelo Ball, pretty much their primary option right now. He's pretty much their primary option right now. And you bring in Steve Clifford? Man, look, I'm calling it in June. And a lot can happen between now and October, right? But I'm calling it. The Hornets are going to be one of the worst teams in the league. They're going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Come, not barring any trades or signings and something like that. But as of right now, it could be right down there with the Orlando Magics and the Indiana Pacers. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. And I don't even think Steve Clifford is going to coach all 82 games. He can't. The dude stayed in the hospital. So that's where I'm at on that. So I hope the Hornets have a contingency plan to bring in someone that's going to be the assistant, that's going to be the eventual successor to Steve Clifford, because this dude's track record, it just don't seem that he's going to make it through the whole year. So the Hornets got their work cut out for them. That's just the bottom line. Now, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. All right.